when the whole cat thing happened, oh my goodness, I honestly think I should have been suspended for that. Like, for the cat throw thing, I do not understand why I didn't receive a suspension for that. It doesn't make any sense.
All right, wow. Are you guys excited? Today we have special guest, world famous Alinity, drama monger / just chatting streamer / e-girl / whatever other infinite numbers of names we've got for. How are you doing today, buddy?
Good, considering everything. I think I'm doing pretty well.
Okay, so I mean, it was a little bit random that you decided that you wanted to come on stream and chat about this. Before we get into things, because I posted a thread on my subreddit yesterday, and I know I got linked in a couple places for people asking questions. We're explicitly not just for her, but for me too. We're not going to talk about like the train stuff because Twitch doesn't like, for reasons that are bigger than anything on my stream. We can't really get into that much, so that's the reason why we're kind of avoiding that topic.
Twitch advised both me and him not to talk about each other.
Yeah, so we're not hitting. Yeah, so that's the reason why we're not going down that route. But okay, so past that, I guess. So why do you want to do this chat? I guess what is like your goal, or what do you hope to get out of this?
Well, so I reached out to you. Mm-hmm. It was mostly because, I guess. There's a lot of people that want to hear like my apologies and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. And people don't realize that I've apologized like multiple times on my stream over the past year and a half. Well, you could say 2 years, like the whole PewDiePie thing and then the cat drama and then all that stuff. I've apologized a lot, but I think like a lot of people don't get to hear my apologies because they're the same people that don't like me, so they don't want to go into my content and my stream and like hear my apology. So I thought like by reaching out to you, I feel like you kind of touched that demographic that doesn't like me a bit. And so maybe through your stream, they can hear my apologies and everything I have to say and my opinions about, you know, all the things that they want to hear, because they won't go to my stream to hear them out.
Sure. Do you have so I'm only asking because I don't know if we're just in very different communities. Do you not go on like any of the big streamer shows? Like, are you ever on like Raj shows or on like the Scuff
show? I went to Raj's show. Yeah, I went to Raj's show once. It must have been probably 2019.
Okay, so you don't regularly intersect with any of like the LSF streamers?
No, I honestly, I don't even like network with big streamers. I've tried to like keep to myself a lot. I think like the first drama that happened, the PewDiePie drama, mm-hmm. I got advised by a person that works in PR for a company to, you know, like keep quiet and like don't answer and don't respond to trolls and all that stuff. And I think like I kind of maybe made a bad decision to listen to their advice in terms of maybe just ignoring things for a little while. And I think because I wanted to make like videos responding to things and I think it would have probably been better if I actually like replied to a lot of stuff mm-hmm. that was going on, for sure.
Do you remember why they told you originally not to? What was like their goal in saying that?
I don't want to detail of who the person is.
Yeah, you don't have to give like who it was.
Yeah, but he advised me to like, in order to make the drama go away, to like maybe not give fuel to the fire. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't exactly remember because this was a long time ago. This was like,
sure,
I believe 2 years ago. And so I really don't remember, but he was like, you know, like don't respond to any trolls, like only post positive things on your social media. And I really thought that I was doing the correct thing, but I think like a lot of people interpret it as maybe like me being fake, right? Because in one hand they get to see all these horrible clips of me and then they go to my social media and it's like, oh look, everything is so nice. And so like I really regret it. I probably should have maybe like addressed everything as it was happening and everything that happened. And I did address it on my stream, just not on my social media. Mm-hmm. And the problem is like there's so many hours of footage, right? That like people are not gonna go to my stream and be like, hey guys, you know, like I shouldn't have done this. Like this was stupid.
Well, and then also like if you do something that's like people interpret as being really fucked up, that's gonna get 20,000 views. And any apology video you put out is gonna get like
Yeah,
2,000.
dude.
Like no one cares
And
about
it's
it.
like, exactly, it's like the only thing that most people get to see of me, right? And so like I was talking to people today on my stream and I was telling them like I don't blame people that hate me like whatsoever. If I was a viewer and the shit that gets popular, like that was the only thing I got to see, like fuck, I probably wouldn't like myself either.
Yeah, I noticed that for a lot of people posted on LSF, I made sure to be very careful of this after I started looking up some people. Like, for instance, like ST Peach, supposedly like 95% of her stream is her like getting in and out of swimming pools. But if you actually go and look up like some of their like streaming stats, you find that, well, actually over half of their time is spent playing games. Usually more than the people that criticize them actually play games. And I noticed, I think for your stats, it was the same. I think over the past 180 and 360 days, like you're pretty consistently like playing games way more than you're just chatting.
Yeah, I actually game quite a bit. I mean, I'm not like an amazing gamer, but I'm Diamond and Apex, and like I like playing games. Like people, and this is the thing, like people don't realize that I've been on Twitch for 7 years. Like I started streaming when it wasn't about like popularity or money or fame or anything. Like I was like just a nerd playing video games on Twitch, and like yeah, I've always looked the way I look, and I've always enjoyed being pretty, you know. Because I think it's one of the attributes that I have. So I think like I think like a lot of people think that I am streaming for different reasons that what I stream for.
Sure,
you know?
people will project that like really hard.
Yeah,
in terms of like,
that's the only thing they get to see, right?
yeah, for sure. In terms of what the PR guy told you, there are definitely different ways to approach like dealing with hate. But it super depends on like what a person's like tolerance level is for different types of hate as well.
He does PR for a big company.
Yeah, but like,
yeah,
what that guy told you.
It's different when it comes to like an individual influencer, right? Like maybe for a company, like not addressing certain things is important, but at the same time, like I think that he thought that I would probably like fuck things up more by like talking about it, and it's possible. I don't know.
Yeah, there's that too, but there's also
but
like
at the time I probably would have made a fool out of myself.
Yeah, there's also the thing that like for a lot of people, they just want it to go away. Like any type of talking will prolong things, and a lot of people are just super uncomfortable with that. Even if you are setting the record straight, a lot of people don't care if there's bad stuff about them. They just want it to go away and not talk about it.
It's like the easy way of dealing with things. Like it's definitely a lot harder to be like, okay, here I am, ask me anything you want. All years I made a mistake, you know. And I think it does take you to get like to a point in your life in which you're like, shit, I'm not perfect. Shit, I fuck up. And I think I got to a point where I'm just like, this is not my first or my last fuck up. I'm probably gonna fuck up again. Yeah.
Do you feel like your relationship with other streamers is kind of weird in general? So like I know you said that you don't network. That seems to be relatively rare, I think. Like most streamers are part of some group. Yeah. Like you've got like the LSF crew, you've got different programmers and hang out. Do you feel like in general, do you avoid other streamers because you're worried about drama, because you think other streamers have a bad view of you? Do they specifically tell you like fuck off, like you're too?
Well, yeah, no, it's not. Okay, so first of all, it wasn't always this case. When I first started streaming, like I started in 2012, but I didn't become like a full-time streamer and like going to events till 2015. I got to meet a lot of like the old people, like Legendary Lee. I got to meet like Kitty Play, Soda, those people. I got to hang out with them. I became really good friends with Taka and Swifty and like all those people. And I generally had like a pretty good maybe like understanding on who, you know, like on who they were, and we got along I got along with everybody. I did have one bad experience with a streamer that, you know, I can't talk about it, but I did have one particular bad experience with one person. And so that took me away from like interacting with a lot of people for a little while. I started to just like maybe keep to myself more, like, you know, like, yeah. And then so it was 2017 when I decided to like go to Vegas with a bunch of other streamers. And that's when I don't want to say names of anyone like recent, but that's when I met Andy Pyro. And there was some other stuff that happened between us and it didn't end well. And so like I just really want to avoid that, like the drama, really. Yeah.
So do you feel like you go out of your way to not interact with streamers now because you're worried about those potential dramatic situations happening, or?
I go out of my way to not interact with streamers that are bigger than me. Because I interact with a lot of streamers that are smaller, like a lot smaller. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you?
I find it that I rather people seek me for clout than to be interpreted like I want to seek somebody else for clout.
Sure. Yeah,
that's a big thing now.
That's a really annoying thing, especially when it comes to girls and guys, that basically any time you play with somebody, especially if a girl does it, it's always said it's for clout. But there are plenty of like smaller guy streamers that will go on certain shows or queue with certain other guys. But at least I don't usually see them called out as like clout chasers as much. Although it does happen occasionally, but not as much. Do you ever feel like there's a weird divide? I'm thinking mainly of like female streamers. So like it seems like sometimes there are some female streamers. I think back, like I know there's an interview that Maya did with Devin Nash where she mentions that like, well, sexual streamers on Twitch, you know, kind of hurt everybody. That like people view all streamers as sexual, kind of. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but like that, like just the presence of those people kind of damages all other women. Do you ever feel like you get called out either directly or indirectly by other streamers, like women or men on Twitch? Do you feel like that happens a lot?
No, I'm sorry. I do not understand what you're asking me.
Like, do you ever feel like, have you ever heard of the term subtweeting?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So, you know, like when drama happens, do you ever feel like somebody on their stream, that there are a lot of other big streamers that are kind of like calling you out all the time? Does that happen a lot, or?
I don't look into it very much, to be honest.
Okay. You don't have people on your stream that are like posting clips like, this is what this streamer said about you, or blah, blah, blah?
No, not anymore. And ever since like the whole PewDiePie thing, I like preferred not to like go into Livestreamfails and like read that stuff. Like, I don't know. I just prefer not to do it, to be honest.
Do you avoid Reddit in general, or at least like the streamer Reddits?
I actually use Reddit a lot, but I don't go in Livestreamfails. I watch like cute stuff and like relationship stuff and like really girly shit.
Gotcha.
Like, probably and in gaming stuff. Like I follow Apex Legends, Overwatch, all the games that I play.
So even when it comes to like, and then I guess this is a question about social media in general, but like when you're going through like a particular, whether you're executing your cat or whatever crazy shit people are posting.
I didn't execute my cat.
I know. Do you?
Fuck, I don't know why you said that the other day. It's like, okay,
no, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you.
Vodka clip because fine. I think there's a lot of people that have this idea that I like.
Yeah, that you force it. We've talked about this a million times at different shows.
Like,
yeah.
No, my cat comes here and she's here. My cat loves. Okay, this is gonna be really gross. Okay, it's gonna be really gross.
Okay.
But don't judge me, please. I used to bird feed my pets. Okay. Like if I was eating something, I would give him a little eating. You know, like if I was having ice cream, I'd be like, yeah, I'd like some ice cream. You know, vanilla ice cream, frozen yogurt. Okay, don't judge me, chat. Okay. But I would give them like things that they're allowed to drink. You know, like if I was having a little bit of like mango juice, I'd give him a little bit. And so I think like it was just part of that behavior, and I was only doing it with Maya because she's my first cat. So
you know, vanilla ice cream is super toxic to cats, right?
Frozen yogurt?
I'm fucking with you. Don't worry. Okay.
Oh my God.
No, I'm sorry, but so for my question, like when the big like dramatic events come up, do you manage to avoid reading? Like you don't read any of the threads? Do you stay off your social medias as well? Or?
So things have changed a lot progressively for me.
Yeah.
Initially I used to like really hate reading things about me. Like it would really affect me. Like it would get me down and get me depressed and stuff like that. And I think like, dude, humans are so resilient. Like after it happens and you're called so many things and people criticize so many things about you for so long, you become, I'm not gonna say it doesn't affect me as much, but it doesn't hurt my ego anymore. Like it doesn't make me feel like a failure. It's just like, yeah, I fucked up and people don't like me. Like, yeah.
Okay. I guess, so I guess this is kind of harder to ask, or it doesn't really make much sense then. So you're not very aware, when I'm streaming, if I start seeing like a particular insult that's used against me, like if it shows up like 3 or 4 times, I usually know that means that like another streamer probably referenced me, or like it's some post on some place. Yeah, like usually that's what that means. But I'm guessing.
Dude, but the thing is like, have you ever seen my chat?
I no, I don't. I don't watch
Okay,
streams
so
at all.
like my chat is very like my community is so different from like the communities you're probably used to. Like when I go to chat, it's like kek pega blah 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 blah, like spam of like random nonsense that most of the time makes no sense. Like I don't watch your stream a lot, but like most big streams are like that. My stream is like people like typing a lot of stuff talking about subjects.
Okay.
And like very, very rarely they mention another streamer in my chat. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, hey, Pokemon is talking about you," and I'm like, oh, "Okay."
So you don't really feel like other streamers mentioning you like brings in like waves of harassment to your community or anything? You don't get that feeling?
I always have waves of harassment in my community.
Okay, so it's not really
like constantly, 24/7. I mean, yeah. I don't question where the waves come from. I'm just like for example, there was a really bad one. It was my birthday. I posted a picture and I don't think he's a streamer. I think he's just like a big Twitter guy or something. But he sent like all his followers to like hate on me on like my birthday picture post, and that was really scummy. I swear. Like that's scummy.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that was like, damn. But like I don't get like mad at people when they should talk about me. It's just like that's their opinion. That's what they think about me. I think the only person that I really, 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 really hate in the world is Keemstar. I really hate that guy.
Has Keemstar done videos on you?
It's not just the videos. He's like shared screenshots that are fake of me saying stuff.
Oh.
Allegedly. He like I don't know if he created it or if somebody created it for him, but he created a screenshot of me saying like I have stuff on Twitch or something like that, which is, oh my god, it's so annoying. He keeps tweeting like, "Oh, I know who you fucked on Twitch," and like all this shit. Like, why would he say that? Like, I've never been in a relationship with anybody at Twitch ever. Like these rumors are only based on the fact that people think that the only reason why I could ever receive preferential treatment, if I do receive preferential treatment, which I want to get into that later, is because I'm fucking someone. Like, so that's where the rumors are starting, because somebody said like she must be fucking someone if that's happening. And so that rumor got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's like I'm fucking all of Twitch apparently, where I live in Saskatchewan and I rarely leave my house.
So in that kind of realm, do you when it comes to like a professional treatment of things, do you ever reach out to Twitch's like trust and safety or account managers when it comes to like other streamers like attacking or dealing with you? Do you ever talk to your account manager where it's like this is kind of bullshit, or do you feel like
I talk to my partner Reb sometimes, but I don't think like I've talked about harassment from other people. Like I think if I focused on that, I would spend my entire day doing that, to be honest. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like do you think that there are some rules at Twitch that should change related to how like streamers like talk about each other, or do you not really care as much? Or
tough one, because it's free speech, right, versus people not harassing somebody else. I think it's just like it's a personal preference. I prefer, especially after the train thing happened, I prefer not to talk about anyone, and because I've learned not to criticize people in general. Like yeah.
I guess so. Then down this road, I mean, this is a rough one, but like, how do you respond to people that feel like you get like preferential treatment from Twitch? It seems like it's always just your word against.
Can we talk about that? Let's talk about the whole preferential thing.
Sure.
I do think there's a preferential treatment, but I don't think it's just towards me. I think it's towards all big streamers. Yeah, I really do think there is. I think like, and I think there's a reason for it, because if you think about it, and a lot of people don't know this, but for a person to get banned on Twitch or suspended or something, there has to be a report made. A person has to be watching their stream and being like, this is not okay, and report it so that it gets on the eyes of Twitch. If you tweet at Twitch like, hey, this is happening, that doesn't work. You have to report the stream. So if you guys, anyone listening to this, if you guys ever see something that's wrong, you have to click on the report and write a report. So what ends up happening is big streamers get a lot of reports constantly all the time because there's so many more eyes on you, right? So I do think that Twitch maybe takes more time discussing larger streamers when it comes to bans and stuff like that. But I have seen like I've seen I've seen a lot of smaller streamers get banned for things that larger streamers get suspended for. And I do think that's really unfair.
Yeah, I don't like to call out
And
names.
it's not just me. It's not just me.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people, honestly. Like, because the whole like nudity thing, like, it's happened to so many people. Like, so many streamers have like maybe not their own genitals, but accidentally shown, you know, nudity on stream, which is classified as the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I've actually, I don't like to call it names because I don't want people to like run and spam report it.
No,
actually, I'm pretty sure I
names.
do. I have on stream. No, yeah, I know, but like I've seen like there will be like videos of other streamers that will have like massive fucking dicks on their stream for like 2 seconds.
Exactly.
And they don't get banned, and I lose my fucking mind over shit like because I've gotten banned for stuff like that. So.
And you know what? To Twitch, that is nudity, regardless of it being like someone else's dick that showed on their screen or them pulling their pants down.
No.
That's nudity. Now, it is accidental or on purpose, which them pulling their pants down would be on purpose. But if they somehow, like, they got up and their pant got stuck and, like, whatever, I can't even imagine how something like that could happen. Yeah. But it would be the same as, like, accidental nudity of a dick popping up on stream.
Do you ever feel like the existence of certain communities, like, contributes a lot to people that like attack you? You said, for instance, that you streamed back, you started in did you say 2013, like for 7 years? 2012. Like, do you feel like the landscape, so like the general streaming environment has changed
so much?
Yeah,
so much. Oh god, I can't even start. I think, like, okay, there was like 2 big points in which the landscape changed. The first big point in which the landscape changed was when people realized, like, wow, we can make money out of Twitch, which, believe it or not, that didn't exist initially. Twitch was initially like a platform to share video games with your friends. You know what I mean? And I hear myself somehow. I don't know.
I think might have been a little bit closer. Go ahead.
Okay. And that was like a turning point. I'm gonna say that was probably like for me, because when I started streaming, I was in school. I never thought like, oh, I can make more money out of this than I would make from nursing school. But it was, for me, it was about 2015. Like that was around the time in which, maybe 2014, middle of 2014, where like things changed a little bit. And then like with Ninja getting really big, people were like, oh, you can get famous out of Twitch. So it wasn't only like, oh, you can make a living out of this, but like, oh, you can be famous from this. So now with the platform being so big, there's so many people starting to stream now, right? And because of that, there's a lot more people wanting to be you and jealous of who you are. So I do think that there's people that see us as like celebrities, which is ridiculous to me.
Sure. More particularly, do you think that like I mean, I would point to like Livestreamfail existing in and of itself. Do you think that's ever changed like parts of streaming?
So at the beginning, it was like the Twitch fails thing, right? It was just like on YouTube mostly. And it was just mostly about like funny shit happening, and I think like that's the part of live stream fails that I like. But it does become an echo chamber at times.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to explain to your audience what an echo chamber is.
Yeah, that it's just a bunch of people that piggyback off each other's opinions. I remember I argued, I don't know if you know who Mitch Jones is. I remember I argued a long time ago where he would tell me that like, oh, so many people on the site are fake. And I was like, well, I don't know if they're totally fake. But it seems like after LSF has gotten more popular, I'm actually starting to think that point of view is a lot more true, where it feels like there's a lot of streamers, and you can tell when you watch some of it, they're just saying shit because they know it'll get clipped on LSF, and they know it'll play into like the LSF narratives and stuff, and people like feed into that stuff relentlessly, and it's insane. It's very, very, very frustrating. Holy shit.
I honestly don't know about that. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that like hate on me just for clout. Like that I know.
Well, and because
sure.
you know it'll gain traction like on certain subreddits, right? Like if you do something, or if anybody big does something, if I come out with like a comment that I know everybody agrees with and I say it like very self-righteously, everybody on LSF is gonna like, oh, Pog, you're so right, or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. And so for sure that happens quite a bit.
Do you ever feel like I'm just asking because these are questions I got. So do you ever feel like you generate bad publicity intentionally? So like a lot of people will say like, oh, she's just doing this because she wants the attention or whatever. Like, how do you respond to people that make those charges?
I mean, okay, I obviously don't do it on purpose. That's so obvious to me, and I think that's obvious to anybody that has any common sense. And I say that because like if I wanted to show my boob, I would probably make it look more flattering. you know what I mean? Like if I were to do something like that on purpose, I have not done anything on purpose, obviously, but I can't like get in a person's mind and convince them that I'm telling the truth. Like there's no purpose of me telling you like, hey, yeah, I didn't do that on purpose. Because whoever believes that I did that on purpose is not gonna change their mind about it. So
because they already think you're lying, yeah. So
yeah, for sure. So it's just confirmation bias in whatever I say. Honestly, it's just whatever I do is just gonna confirm what they already believe in me. It doesn't matter if I apologize, because then, oh, she doesn't believe the apology is true, or if it's just very difficult, honestly.
how do you go about like doing? I'm sorry, because I only watch what literally shows up on LSF. Have you done like big apologies for things in the past? Like, how do you go about doing those? Do you feel like they're authentic, or?
Yeah, like generally when shit happens, I like, for example, when I got suspended last time, I actually had my Discord open, my subscriber Discord open, my stream, which is so dumb, honestly. Somebody posted a dick and then I got suspended. Got suspended for 3 days at a time, which is crazy, but they must consider like genitals different from boobs, maybe. I don't know. Maybe like that part gets a 3-day and this part gets a 1. I don't know how Twitch does this shit, honestly. But anyway, I had a dick pop up on my stream and I got a 3-day suspension. And I came back and I was like, dude, like I really fucked up. I'm sorry, guys. I definitely shouldn't have a Discord open, you know? When the whole cat thing happened, oh my goodness. I honestly think I should have been suspended for that. Like for the cat throw thing, I do not understand why I didn't receive a suspension for that. It doesn't make any sense. When there's people that have like gotten suspended for something less than that. Now, I do believe, and I don't know if this is true, but like I always try to think like, how do things work and imagine how things work. And I do believe that Twitch has like a protocol. So it's like, did this happen in camera or off camera? Was there ill intent? No ill intent, you know? And I think like, and this didn't happen. I'm not making an excuse. There could have been somebody behind me or something. Like you can't tell what happened. And like my intention was obviously not to hurt my cat, but like I probably should have received a suspension for that. I do believe that.
Yeah, there's really weird stuff where I remember when they did like some of their big updates where they were saying in response to weird bans, they're like, oh, we're gonna focus more on attention, but it seems like that never happens. It's always really random.
It's so hard to judge a person's intention, though. Like, it's so difficult.
And we have no transparency into, like, any of the bands. They don't really make any statements about anything, so we're all just
It really sucks. Like, this is the thing that really pisses me off. Like, I could get banned, right? Imagine I'm, like, a smaller streamer, and I get banned for, I don't know, tossing my cat in the air. I got banned, and then I could literally go and say anything I want about my ban. Twitch is not going to respond. So I can say, like, I got banned for standing up. What the fuck? Why does this person not get banned? Like, because Twitch doesn't make a statement about why a person got banned. People can go on and say, like, I got banned for X thing. And that X thing, it's possible it could be not true.
Yeah.
So, like, that really upsets me.
Have you ever, so I don't remember how far we went with the DMCA stuff with PewDiePie. Have you ever like DMCA'd Reddit comments, or have you ever like messaged the Reddit admins or like subreddit mods and be like, hey, this stuff needs to get removed, or this needs to be taken down?
Ever go on I sometimes go on Livestreamfail, but I don't know if there's a subreddit with my name. I don't read it. I think there's a possibility that some of my fans do, but I do not ever go there. Okay. Sometimes, like, if somebody tells me, like, oh, some funny shit happened on stream, like, somebody did this, I go on Livestreamfails and, like, look at the video. I try not to read the comments, because it really is an echo chamber? Echo chamber, yeah. Echo chamber. Because, like, you will see, like, the messages that are popular belief get, you know, upvoted, and fuck, I'm such a noob. And then they'll downvote anything else. So it's just like, yeah, there's just no point on.
Are you part of like a company that does like automatic like DMCAs or whatever, or anything like that?
I used to be. Okay, so when the PewDiePie thing, this is really funny, because when the PewDiePie thing first happened, and I was pretty naive, honestly. I had a company reach out to me, like, my butt is itchy, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I had a company like reach out to me, and they were like, hey, you know, there's like all these video compilations of you. You can receive like a certain amount of compensation for those. And so they're like, we do this with a lot of streamers and other content creators, and like we're a big company, and just sign up with us and stuff. And I was like, yeah, sure, like let's do it. I didn't have an agent at the time. I never like really asked anybody any questions, and so I started working with them. And what I had an idea at the time was like there used to be all these compilations of like me getting up and me getting down, and like dude, you'd be surprised. There's like compilations of me burping.
No, yeah, I've seen.
There's like all kinds of nasty shit, like compilations of every time I showed my feet. And so
I think I've had somebody's made a compilation of me like every single time I've sneezed over the past like 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And at the time I was like, oh yeah, like if I deserve something for this, then let's do it, right? I didn't know anything about copyright law at the time. I didn't know about fair use. I didn't know about anything. So 2 months after that, the PewDiePie incident happened. So I was working with that company and they were flagging videos for me. I just didn't know they were flagging videos that were fair use because I didn't know what that meant. And so when the whole PewDiePie incident happened, I'll just explain to you what happened real quick. So I'm streaming and somebody goes like, oh, hey, you're in PewDiePie's newest video. And I'm like, oh shit, let's watch it. So he's doing a night tracking challenge and he plays a video of like a bunch of Twitch girls getting up and stuff like that, and he fails the challenge because he looks at our boobs or whatever. And so he goes, these stupid Twitch thoughts. And like at the time I used to get offended by that stuff, and so I got pretty pissed and I maybe played it out a little extra for the stream because I was streaming. And so I get up and I'm like, I tell my room, we should copyright PewDiePie video. And it ended like that. And then coincidentally the company that was doing that I don't know what it is for me, they strike his channel. Now, the funny part about that is that people obviously assumed that it was me who like went in and like claimed the video, which I didn't. And there's no way I can prove to people that. So yeah, people believe that I did that. And regardless of me doing it or not, it's impossible for me to prove it. But the company that was working for me, I can't remember what they're called because I don't work with them anymore. They issued a statement saying like, hey, it was one of our employees. Alinity didn't do this. I stopped working with them. They had like nothing to benefit from like saying that. I didn't ask them to say that. But it was like in response to all the drama, they were like, hey, no, Alinity didn't do this. It was us. It was one of our employees. But people don't listen to that because they already believe that I'm not good because they're already fans of PewDiePie, right? So they're already like every piece of information they're gonna find, they're gonna be like, oh no, she's bad. So they didn't even realize that it was already like pretty much proven that I didn't copy strike his video, right? Copy strike. That's not even a word. I invented that word.
Sure, copyright strike, but yeah.
Copyright strike. Yeah. So yeah, so that's when everything got started.
Gotcha. I mean, like that, the PewDiePie drama, and then the cat throwing drama, and then the cat alcohol drama, I think are the are like the biggest things that I know.
Those were the biggest ones.
Yeah.
And I think it's really funny because that PewDiePie incident put a lot of eyes on me. Like a lot of people started rewatching my videos to try and find shady stuff of me on purpose. Like imagine all the content you have. You've been streaming for as long as I have. Like it's a lot.
And then as soon as somebody decides that you're like evil, all of a sudden they can go back and find literally anything. Like here's one where like a cat yelps, or here's one where they get up and it looks like they're flashing their ass.
It must be this. It must be like. And here's the thing. Like when the pet drama started, you know, like all the cat abuse shit. There's like, you know, okay, the cat throw happened, and then people started going back in the videos and finding every interaction I had with my pets.
Yeah.
The vodka thing had been a year before that. So they went a year back to find that. And then after that came to light, there was a video where my dog is chasing one of my cats, and I go with my foot and I go like, hey, don't. And I just like pushed her away. And that clip became big on Twitter as well. And so when the whole yoga thing, when my dog sniffed my ass, I was like, okay, first of all, it took me a little bit to realize that she was there. But when I realized she was there, I didn't want to push her because I didn't want people to be like dog abuse, right? Animal abuse. So I like really, really slowly, like really carefully got her away from me. And no, I must fuck dogs. So like, I think like anything that happens, like if I do good, if I do bad, if I shove her, if I don't shove her, there's always going to be like the discourse is always going to be played in a way where like I'm an evil person. And that's just the way it is, honestly. Like that's just how it is.
So since you don't have like too much interaction with these communities, do you care about like, so if people label you like a just chatting girl or like an e-girl or whatever, I guess like at the end of the day, like how much do you care about these perceptions, or how much do you wish you could change them, or is it just whatever at this point? Like fuck
Oh,
it. Or...
they're like, I mean, it comes to like categorizing people and like putting people in boxes and labels, and there's just so much to say about like I've never been the kind of person that likes labels, even like positive or negative labels. Like I've never liked to label my sexuality per se. I've never liked to like be considered one way or another, because I feel like if like for example I like some anime or some certain thing, right? But I don't like all anime. I'm not gonna categorize myself as a weeb, because I'm not like I don't fit that category perfectly. And I feel like if I label myself in that category, I'm gonna like maybe restrain myself in doing other things that I wanted to do, or like feel like I have to live up to that category. So I've never been a person that likes labels. Like even in high school, like, are you nerdy? Like, are you popular? Like, are you this? Are you that? I just never really liked it. So I've grown my whole life not really caring for categories. I do think that a lot of people think I'm a titty streamer. Like, what does that even mean? I've seen girls that like don't even show cleavage be called titty streamers. Like, I don't even know.
Sure. So at this point, it's just whatever, I guess. It seems like over time you've gotten a lot more, like, whatever about it, I guess, or in terms of like how much it bothers you.
Yep.
Do you
Pretty
get?
much.
So you mentioned the guy that tweeted like a picture of you on your birthday. How much like off-platform, like off Twitch harassment do you get? Like, do you feel like, do you get negative comments? I mean, I'm asking this, I know you must. But like when big drama happens, like on your Instagram and stuff.
Oh yeah, everything is like super negative shit. All of it. Like dislikes and on my YouTube videos. Oh, totally.
Have you ever had somebody in real life? Like, have you ever had a bad interaction with somebody in real life that's like recognized you? And
see, that's the thing. Okay, I live in a very small city. I live in Saskatoon. I don't know where Saskatchewan
I have
is.
no idea where that is.
Okay, it's in the Canadian Midwest. It's like in the middle of nowhere. I live in the boonies, small city.
Okay.
Well, 300,000 people. But I'm literally like the only
streamer kind of person
in the city. Like seriously. And so a lot of people know me here, but it's funny, like most of the people that hate me won't hate me in real life. Like all the people that approach me in real life, they're like people that like me, to be honest.
Okay. So you've never had somebody like come up to you or do anything like that. That's good, I guess.
No, people to me all the time and like ask me for pictures and stuff like that and tell me they like my stream or whatever. I don't know if that's true.
This is
I've been like harassed in real life in terms of like people showing up at my house, but not with like bad intentions, just mostly like
creepy fans or
like people being like, oh, can we give you an interview, and like
like an actual company or just like a guy with a camera.
Oh, just like teenagers.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I had to like explain to their parents, like this is not okay, that kind of thing. Yeah. There's been a few.
So these are kind of like streamer topics, I guess, or most people won't know or care as much. But like, so I'm kind of personally curious because I have a lot of friends that have a lot of trouble dealing with online hate. Did you, in terms of like over the years, have you like changed coping mechanisms, or do you deal with it differently? Or why do you feel like you got a little bit better with it? Because for some people, hate like this on the internet like shuts down their desire to stream completely. Yeah.
Okay, for me, it was like understanding completely the idea that like just because you believe something, that doesn't make it a fact. So like, I don't like Pepsi and I think Pepsi sucks. That doesn't mean that Pepsi suck. It just means that like, in my opinion, in my experience, I believe that it does. So like, to me, everything that people say to me, that's just their opinion on me. That doesn't mean that that's who I am.
Okay. So you don't have like, do you have like any like coping mechanisms? Are there like things that you do like when you need to like recharge or like unplug? Have you ever been like, I need like a fucking week off, like I'm taking a week or two off streaming, this is bullshit?
But it's not related to that. It's related to my bipolar disorder. I have bipolar, so sometimes I like feel low, but it has nothing to do with like internet hate or drama. It has to do with like energy levels. Like my energy level becomes really low where like I don't really enjoy talking or like doing anything, so I just like sleep a lot, but it's just my mental health stuff. Sure. I've overcome a lot of mental disorders. I had a really bad anorexia growing up. I was like 70 pounds, 66 pounds. And I was like about to die, you know. So like I've dealt with a lot of like mental things that have made me become like mentally very strong, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I do think like all of that has helped me a lot dealing with, you know, drama in general and like not letting things affect me.
Sure. Do you ever have you ever reached a point like in the middle of like a drama cycle where you're just like, fuck Twitch, like I regret ever streaming here, like I just want to do something totally different?
Oh, I love Twitch.
Okay.
Honestly, like even the people that hate me, like I'm not angry at them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Those are bigger words than more than what I would
like
say.
they honestly like they've helped me a lot. Like, listen, there's a lot of people that come into my stream and they're like, hey, you know, I came to your stream to hate, but like you're actually a cool person. Like I'm subscribed now. There's like half of my subscribers right now are people that like knew about, like learned about me because of the hate stuff.
Gotcha.
So like I haven't done it on purpose, but I like to make the best out of everything in life, honestly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's basically all I have in regards to this, I guess. Is there anything else you want to say or talk about, or anything like related to this? Or?
No. I mean, I think we touched every topic. I don't know if your chat has any questions or anything. I really have to pee.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't really know what else there would be to talk about. We can call it here if you're good. Go into more drama. I mean, you've pretty much addressed like every big thing that's happened like in the past, right? Like I don't know how much more is left to be said about anything.
I do. The big point that I wanted to make was like, I do believe that there is a preferential treatment on Twitch. And like, I realize that, like, I understand that. And I do believe that there are certain things that I should have been suspended for that I haven't been suspended for. But like, I do not have any control over it. Like whatsoever. I can't do anything about it. You know? And like, the thing is, I don't think that they're like, oh, you're receiving a favorable treatment. Like most streamers receive a favorable treatment, but I don't think it's that the streamers receive a favorable treatment is like the small streamers receive an unfavorable treatment. I don't think that Twitch sometimes takes the time that they take in order to decide if they're gonna suspend or ban a big streamer as they do for a smaller one.
Sure.
So sometimes they do ban people unfavorably, like like unfairly, But I do think I should have been suspended for sure for the cat thing, like 100%. At least like a 3-day at the very least.
Yeah, I think most people recognize that. The larger streamers probably have better treatment. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's really it. I can't really think of anything else. Yeah, if you ever want to chat again or whatever, just let me know, or if you want to reach out. Yeah. But otherwise,
no, for sure. Thank you for, I just wanted to let everybody know I reached out to you. Like, you didn't reach out to me. I reached out to few other streamers that I thought were cool, and I was like, you know what? Destiny seems like a guy with an open mind, and I was like, let's do it. Cool. So yeah, thanks for accepting having me over, and for people to listen to this and watch this, and yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity, so I could capitalize on the drama, get them viewers. Yeah.
Did you? Did you get some good viewers?
A little bit, yeah. But thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right.
Okay. Have fun. Be careful.
Well, I hope it would have been a lot.
Yeah. No, it's a lot. It's a lot for me. No. Damn. Don't make me feel bad. Holy shit. Don't fucking do it for me. I got more viewers than I normally do. Okay. I get twice as many. Okay. So thank you very much. Okay.
Yay. That's awesome. Bye, chat. Love you guys.
All right,
take care.
Have fun. Bye.
Kisses. Not to you. To chat. Okay. I always give kisses to chat.
Okay. Thanks. Bye. Good one. Message in my Discord. Please drag me into this shit show. I'll do it. I need it. I need to argue with people.